Imagine a bustling world, overflowing with cities, satellites, plastics, power plants and people. Over 7 billion of us are alive today, each leaving behind traces in the air we breathe, the oceans we pollute, the ground we build on, even in the vast emptiness of space. Yet, what if all of that simply vanished? Fast forward a few million years. The skyscrapers crumble, the monuments erode, even plastic breaks down, nuclear scars fade into the crust. One by one, the fingerprints of our civilization are wiped clean by time. What if this has happened before? According to the Silurian hypothesis, we may not be the first technologically advanced species to walk the Earth. And if another civilization existed long before us, millions of years ago, would we even be able to tell? Before we begin tonight's video, let us know where in the world you're watching from and what time it is for you right now. Post it in the comments below and settle in for a journey you will not forget. The Silurian hypothesis is a brave and interesting idea that questions everything we think we know about human history. It asks a deep and surprising question. What if human beings are not the first smart civilization to appear on Earth? What if, millions of years before us, there was another advanced society, one that made machines, studied science, and maybe even reached for the stars, only to disappear completely, leaving behind little or no sign? This idea was brought up by two scientists, space expert Adam Frank and planet expert Gavin Schmidt. They wondered whether Earth might have once been home to smart life forms long before humans ever showed up. If such a civilization existed, could all signs of their time here have been removed by nature itself, by big volcanic blasts, strong earthquakes, slow wearing away of land, rising oceans, or changes in weather over tens of millions of years? Unlike regular digging into history, which looks at the rise of human societies over the past few thousand years, this idea goes far beyond our known past. It dares us to think that civilization itself might not be something only humans can have. Maybe it is something that has happened more than once during Earth's 4.5 billion year story. At the centre of this idea is a simple but strong thought. Maybe humans are not the first, and maybe we're not the only smart life to live on this planet. If another civilization once lived here millions of years ago, most of their buildings, cities and machines would most likely have broken down. Natural actions, like moving land plates, growing mountains, washing away of shores, and even space rocks hitting Earth, could have removed almost all signs of them. That's why scientists looking into this idea are not just trying to find statues or broken buildings. Instead, they're searching for more hidden indirect clues. These might include strange chemical marks deep in rocks, odd layers in old dirt, or weird patterns in the Earth's tiny building blocks, small atomic marks that might point to old machine use. Finding such clues is hard, but not impossible. The big problem is that Earth's rock record, the layers of stone and dirt that tell the story of our world, is not complete. Over millions of years, much of it gets crushed, melted, or used again by nature. Usual digging into the past depends on things like tools, clay pots, and bones, objects that almost never last more than a few 100,000 years. So if a civilization lived on Earth, let's say 50 million years ago, nearly everything they made would be gone. That's why the Silurian hypothesis suggests a different way of looking, one that brings together many kinds of science. It's not just about digging up old things, it's about mixing studies of rocks, chemicals, weather, and even computer-made models to search for deeper clues hidden in Earth's past. This idea doesn't only change how we look for history, it also makes us rethink what we mean by civilization. It opens up big questions. How long can a machine-making society last? Do civilizations rise and fall like waves over time? Could ours be just one in a long list of many? And when a civilization ends, does it leave any sign that lasts? Asking these questions makes us think not just about the past, but also about the future. If other smart creatures once lived on Earth, and if they disappeared without a trace, what might that say about us? Thinking about civilizations that might have existed before humans isn't just a story from science fiction. It has real use for scientists and history diggers. It helps us question long-held beliefs and grow our understanding of how life and thinking minds change over time. For a very long time, people who study the past believed that civilization moved in one straight line. Early humans lived in groups, then built towns, then made machines, and finally reached the modern world. This story made it seem like humans were the only ones ever able to create big, complex societies and smart machines. But the Silurian hypothesis turns that idea upside down. If a civilization rose and fell millions of years ago, we might not find stone buildings or metal tools. Instead, we would need to look for small signs like strange chemical leftovers, weird rock shapes, or even rare minerals that might hint at machine use. These marks might be buried deep underground or hidden under the sea. Finding such clues would be one of the biggest finds in human history. It would make us change everything we know about life on Earth. It would also bring new questions. How long did that civilization last? What made it fall apart? Could the same thing happen to us? And there's another part to this story, one that goes past science. The idea that humans might not be the only smart beings ever to live on Earth shakes up how important we think we are. For hundreds of years, people have believed that we are the centre of everything. From old religious ideas to science during the Age of Reason, humans have often been seen as special, even meant to rule the world. This belief was made stronger by the richness of human language, culture, and machines. It made it seem unlikely that any other creature, on Earth or somewhere else, could match our thinking power. And because we've never found strong proof of alien civilizations or ones before humans, many believe they didn't exist. But as our tools get better, and as we learn more about the story of our planet, that strong belief is starting to fade. New finds in areas like the study of life in space, planet science, and very old Earth studies show that we may have been too fast to ignore other options. The Silurian hypothesis tells us to keep our minds open. It reminds us that smart life might not always look the way we expect. It could grow in shapes and places we've never thought of. And if civilizations can come and go, here on Earth or out in space, it's worth asking, what will beings in the future think of us? Will we leave behind anything they can discover? The belief that humans are special has been with us for a very long time. During the time of the Renaissance and the Age of Reason, roughly between the 15th and 18th centuries, science started to grow. People began using careful watching and clear thinking to understand the world. But even as knowledge increased, many still believed humans were the centre of everything. Back then, people believed Earth was the centre of the universe, a view called the geocentric idea. Even when that idea was proven wrong, another belief took its place, that humans were the smartest and most important beings in the universe. Our power to build cities, speak languages, and make amazing machines seemed to prove it. Some of these beliefs also came from religion or deep thinking. Many thought humans were made in a special way, different from all other animals. Others believed that if smart life existed somewhere else, it would either be very strange or far behind us in progress. Another reason people believed in human specialness was the lack of proof for anything else. We hadn't found any signs of alien civilizations, nor had we found clear proof of smart life on Earth before us. From a scientific point of view, this idea makes researchers look more closely at the clues left behind in rocks, fossils, and old layers of the Earth. Our current tools, like measuring the age of rocks using radiation and studying Earth's layers, are made to find natural changes over time. But what if there were signs of advanced tools buried deep underground, signals so weak or so strange that we just missed them or thought they were natural? Scientists might need to go back and look at the fossil record, layers of mud and sand and the mix of chemicals in a new way, searching for things that may have been made or changed by smart hands. These signs could be very small, hidden or damaged by time. Over millions of years, metal might rust away, buildings might be crushed or buried, and only odd shapes or leftover chemicals would be left. The big question is, could the remains of a very old civilization be buried so deep or broken down so much that we can no longer see them for what they are? From a thinking or belief point of view, the idea is just as strong. If smart life once grew and disappeared on Earth before us, it would mean we are not necessarily the first or the only ones to reach a high level of understanding and tools. That thought makes us feel small. It shows that maybe the rise of smart life is not a rare wonder, but something that can happen again and again when the right things come together. It also makes us think more deeply about the meaning of progress. Are civilizations like ours something that naturally happens on Earth-like worlds? Or are they rare and easily broken, likely to fall apart after reaching a certain stage? Could it be that other civilizations once lived here, did great things, and then disappeared, leaving behind only tiny hints that we're just now starting to notice? This idea also brings up important questions about how long tools can last. Would the machines, tools, or buildings of a very old civilization last for tens of millions of years? Or would nature break them down so fully that we would never even know they were ever here? If an old civilization changed the Earth's weather or left behind chemicals in the dirt, could we still find those changes today? All of this connects to bigger ongoing talks about life outside of Earth. The Silurian hypothesis, a name given to this idea by scientists Adam Frank and Gavin Schmidt, links the possibility of old Earth civilizations with the search for smart life elsewhere in the universe. It opens up exciting questions. If old smart life once lived on our planet, could other planets also have gone through the same rise and fall? Could life appear, grow powerful, and disappear again and again across the galaxy? The idea makes us look differently at both strange ancient remains and stories from old cultures. For example, what if the strange jumps in old technology, or the sudden rise of deep knowledge in early groups, were echoes of something older? Could tales of lost worlds like Atlantis or Lemuria be far-off memories of real places that once existed? Civilizations so old that they were forgotten by time? The Silurian hypothesis also makes scientists study ancient ruins and strange objects more carefully. Are some of these things really just made by early humans? Or could they be misunderstood, remains of something much older, maybe even not human? This idea questions the usual belief that all stories of gods, sky people, or vanished cities are just made-up tales. What if some of them are based on real things from a time long before ours? Old cultures like the Sumerians and Egyptians have stories that point to this idea. The Sumerians, one of the oldest known civilizations, said their knowledge came from gods who came down from the sky. The Egyptians spoke of a time of disorder that was put into order by godlike beings, ideas that hint that something existed before humans, or at least before written history. On the other hand, many usual stories say that history starts with human beings and moves in a straight line of growth from simple to advanced. Holy books often tell of a moment of godly creation, after which human history begins, leaving no space for earlier smart life. These stories seem to deny the idea of civilizations before us. Still, there are old legends and strange ancient finds that keep people wondering. Plato's well-known story of Atlantis tells of an advanced society that sank beneath the sea. While many thinkers see it as just a symbol, others ask if it could be based on a real place lost in time. Huge stone works like the Great Pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge in England bring up similar questions. Did old people really build them with the simple tools we think they had? Or did they receive knowledge from a much older, forgotten group? Most scientists are careful and like to see these old stories as symbols or lessons, not real history. But the Silurian hypothesis asks us to keep an open mind. Instead of brushing off old tales or unexplained finds, maybe we should take another look, with better tools and new ideas. To carefully test the idea behind the Silurian hypothesis, the suggestion that an advanced civilization may have lived on Earth long before humans, scientists look at three main areas: the study of Earth's rocks, the study of ancient